Assalamu alaikum. You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. This is the Black Panther comic book review. I don't just have that cover, I got this variant cover, Shuri holding the shield. I wonder what this means for long-term ramifications of Shuri creating that shield over for Captain America in this issue. And then there's a second variant cover, Miracle Man is back. I'm not too invested in this comic book character, Miracle Man, but here he is sharing a cover with his brother, T'Challa. One thing to talk about before we even get started on this. I've noticed that the Black Panther comic book series so far has been having this thing, where if you want to read a digital issue, you got to go to marvel.com/redeem, you got to enter, or you got to email somebody, yada, yada, yada. But in comic books like this, which is brand new, Spider-Man by Dan Slott, if I wanted to go to that same page, I would have a peel and reveal kind of tactic where I don't actually have to email anyone or intern who works over at Marvel and take anybody's time. It's just a computer doing it for you. Are they trying to say, and this is what I believe, before I even criticize this, I understand that I just compared a white character to a black character and this always gets racial. Anytime you criticize the Black Panther, it gets racial. I think that Marvel Comics don't think that this paper with the sticker and the resources that are needed to create this, there are not enough people ordering that comic book there for this little service. And if you're not familiar, this is the peel right here. I'll unpeel it. Okay. And there is going to be a code underneath. There. That's a code of like letters and numbers. I'm going to enter that, and all of a sudden I will have this as a free digital comic. It's a digital comic just like if I were to buy it from Comixology or Amazon. They don't have that for the Black Panther comic book, and a lot of black comic book characters, but also like the low selling ones is what I'm going to say is the correlation between the two, and it's not racial. That's just not. Speaking of racial, from this comic book cover, from the tint of yellow, I could not tell the skin tone of this man here named the Buffalo Soldier, but he's the Buffalo Soldier indeed, and he does this to T'Challa, and it is at this moment I go, nah, man. John Ridley, you don't have the right to do that. T'Challa just getting backhanded. Look at him leaping forward and then gets backhanded. That's a master tactician who he is. He just had that happen to him. Why did you have to draw this so good, German Peralta? Like, look at him just get mollywopped and then give him a licking, a tongue lashing. Well, never heard of Wakanda, but where I come from, people were taught how to fight. What he said. That's how it sounded like. That's how I'm reading it. He just one-ups T'Challa everywhere. He destroys that little device that they were supposed to use. And then, you know, even when Captain America was looking, hey, T'Challa. He's like, no, Steven, it has been destroyed. Thankfully, Shuri's going to come in the nick of time. How'd she get here so quickly? I don't know. She was just in Wakanda earlier. They don't use transportation or teleportation. They use proper transportation like Quinjets. Is John Ridley a comic book writer? I don't know. So I'm to believe that Quinjets are indeed that fast. There's never been anything in Marvel Comics that I've read. I could be ignorant. That could show me that Shuri, or Wakandan, can travel from right over here. Oh man, they're really chewing you out, T'Challa. It's tough. All the way to this fight. Maybe they were fighting for hours. That's always possible. But man, oh man, he's like, I'm gonna skin that little cat over there. And his verbiage was pretty good. I just don't feel that his power set or what they've shown us from him is enough to be like enough to be a Black Panther hunter. He shouldn't, to my knowledge, he's got a gun, a quick draw. T'Challa's got agility. I can just dodge, boom, 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 faster than you can aim. That's the T'Challa that I know. Didn't do a nice enough job of explaining this villain. As far as the verbiage goes, actually, the verbiage was pretty cool. Like African sounded African and whatnot. So that's not an issue here. Tosin's over there. Tosin's a cool character. I wonder what he's got cooking. Folashade really wants to leave that monarchy thing and go into the democracy. And I keep saying this over and over, so I'll spare you guys. The short version is monarchy is fine when your king is literally a superhero who's noble, okay? We close out with T'Challa getting shot. He needed to prove something to this villain, this Buffalo Soldier dude. And in proving it, he was like, listen, everyone has free will, this and that. Good superhero moment. Gets shot. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, I think I'm on the wrong sides of things. And all of a sudden, the whole colonizing and meta or commentary on real life history came out. It poured out too heavy for my liking. It wasn't slick or clever the way people like Chris Claremont have been known for doing. I read God Loves Man Kills, and I've read stories that weren't so like what do you call it when you just talk to the reader? An overt story where you really know what they're going for. No, look, the land that we were standing on right now, because they're in Texas. He says, the land, let me read word for word, okay? Ready. What I know, you call yourself the Buffalo Soldier. On this planet, we had Buffalo Soldier, free men who served their country with honor, protecting the frontier. And look at T'Challa. He's got Wakanda vision, right, ready to go, just in the middle of his Kimoyo beat. He's like, here, watch television, this PowerPoint presentation as I explain. He says, but when the frontier expanded, the Buffalo Soldiers were ordered to fight and kill the people whose land we're standing on right now. Took a little too long. There's just like a little lecture in the middle of a comic book. Sounds like they were doing as told. These were men who fought for their freedom in this country's civil war. They had a choice. They chose to take their freedom and then turn it on others. Excuse me. Okay, good to know. To me, this comic book felt like it was a rushed event because the first 8 issues were one complete story. And as you know, because you're a comic book head, you know that trade paperbacks collect up to 6 issues. And if you collect a trade paperback and issue 6 ends with to be continued, you're like, whoa, why am I not getting a complete story? I think they probably told the writer of this comic book, Jonathan Ridley, hey, idiot, you don't know how to write comics. Look, you got to make it so that it's divisible by 6 or 5s so that we can put them in the trades. So just wrap up your story. So he ends issue 10 with a the end. He's going to do 11 and 12. Either there'll be solos each or there'll be a 1 and 2, and that'll be an end. And then he'll be like on path because he is getting an issue 13, surprisingly. Very bizarre. I thought, I don't know the sales data. I can't see, but getting an issue 13. You know who should get an issue 13? Monica Rambeau, but she's only getting 5 issues in this limited series. In my opinion, let me scoot over. In my opinion, Monica Rambeau could be the next Superman. She could be the next Deadpool, the next Thor, the next character who just hops on the pages and just is a mainstay. It's her first comic book series, and if enough of us buy it, she's Wonder Woman.